Alright. The coffee is indeed hot. I vaguely borderline burned myself, but I'm alive. Why am I missing? There we go. Had the volume turned down on my other machine for some reason. Okay, there's probably no Plagio to find right now, given that there wasn't yesterday before the server reset. So probably just go run some missions until the server restart. And then I can go. Then I can go do some mining. Yeah, there was nothing in them yesterday morning either. Okay. I probably should have bookmarked that other agent since I knew he's a level 1. Because I did jumps for him over there. However, there's somebody else that's available right here. Level 1, any distance, high sec, Galente. Yeah, that's fine. This lady right here. It's like an hour. Well, like 40 minutes. 40 minutes, I guess. So I got time to run a couple of missions before I go.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
I already got screenshots of this place.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Black market slave trading. Destroy his ship and bring the slaves back to me. Why are you referring to them as slaves if they are Galente's citizens? They were his slaves, but for you they're citizens. I would have fixed that in editing. Destroy the slaver ship and rescue the slaves. Okay. Well, away I go. We're an old man in a hurry. Excuse me.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Oh, geez, that's a bunch of stuff. I think I only needed one of them, right? But I might as well kill them all. Alright. Let's drop our drones. Ooh, tracking's disrupted from something. There's the slaver ship. Get them, drones, go! This is the first one where we're actually taking some damage. I might actually have to take out some ads and like warp out. I don't think I'm being stasified with a Weber, so I should be able to jump out if I need to. Yeah, I can warp out if I need to. I'm running the risk though, because they're not hurting that bad, and he's really close to dead. I've still got 2 ranges left. Just need to dock him and go. He's almost toast. Come in for the approach because he's almost dead. gonna be like right there. I'm gonna have to jump out because they're getting my hull. Be right back.
Warp drive active.
That's the first mission I've come across where I may have to take out the ads first. They actually were doing some damage. That's cool though. So some of them are easier than others, even at level 1. Let's see here.
Docking permission
Dock and do some
requested.
repairs.
Docking request accepted.
I had a shield hardener on my other ship. I did not. I used someone else's fit for this ship, and they did not include a shield hardener. Right? I don't know. This is someone else's fit. I just grabbed whatever's there. How do I do the repair thing? There's one on this ship. Oh, I guess there is one. I mean, what's the downside to having that? I remember this is like an armor ship, and somebody had said something about that at some time. I don't know. This is what came with the fit, so I didn't pay attention. There's no downside. Okay. Yeah, I got plenty of juice. I'm not worried about it being an active module. Oh, I could have activated it. I thought it was a passive thing. Oh, the shield extender. I'm looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the shield hardener. Okay. Well, then I need to pay more attention.
Warp drive active.
Which is what? This one right here? Shield extender. So I guess when it has a plus sign, that means you can activate it? Is that what that means? I don't really ever deal with active modules before. The green at the top are active modules. Okay. Or modules that can be activated. I wonder if the boss respawned all the way. His shields respawn. I'm assuming yes. Either way, I probably need to take out the ads first because he was resistant as hell, and I was getting pinged the
Docking
whole
permission
time.
requested.
Hang on, why am I docking with her?
Docking request accepted.
No, 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 no. I think it did not track the place that I jumped from. Yeah, they brought me back to the... Yeah, that's not where I want to be. I wasn't paying attention and I just jumped by following the waypoints, and that's not. I gotta figure out how to get back to the place that they had me jump to. You can remove the passive mods from your UI when undocked. There are 3 small lines. Do not display passive mods. Oh, that does help. Because then I'm not confused about what I can and can't click. Okay. I need to figure out where the fuck I was supposed to go for this quest. That's the drop-off location. Location jump 1. Set destination.
Warp drive active.
Well, now when I know that the green stands for, it makes it way easier for me to understand. I did not even know this was an option thing, so this is kind of cool. Ooh, you could align the HUD to the top, too. Interesting. How do you get back? Oh, someone says right click in space. Thank you. This is what I'm looking for. Is how the hell do I find my way back to where I was? Agent mission location. This is what I was looking for. Thank you. Encounter dead space.
Warp drive active.
I'm like looking all over the place going, how the hell do I find how to get back? Because it gave me a system and then nothing. But it's like an anomaly. Could you see it on the map too if you pulled the map up? Well, I'm tracking more right now. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go through the gate. Now we're on track.
Warp drive active.
You know what I totally did? There was I totally left my drones in space when I jumped out. How much money would? But that was an emergency situation. I'm learning things. Reconnect to lost drones if they're still here. They are. I don't see the slaver ship. There I do. Wreck of so my I think my drones killed it while I warped back. Which is pretty fucking cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and take all these out while I'm here. Probably. Yeah, they go down fast. See, I probably should have done that the first time. But I just went straight for him. Alright, we're in the clear. These are sellable? Where at? We're getting there, Allie. We're getting there. Do you sell them to other players, or how does that work? Huh. Tags are used to buy stuff in the loyalty store. Okay. Freedom and commerce. I could probably scoop my drones up now. Okay, we should have the freed slaves. We can now boogie out back to
Warp drive active.
the place where we turn in.
Warp drive active.
I need to go pick up. I need to go buy Assassin's Creed today, since we're a few days away from it. I gotta put that on my list. I think I'm gonna get it on the PS5 just because I've heard that the PSSR 2
Permission requested.
upscaling
Request
for the
accepted.
PS5 Pro does give a slight enhancement compared to the base, like Xbox Series X. Besides, I played as AC Shadows on the PlayStation as well, so I might as well just keep that because I already get access to all of the Ubisoft games long term. Currently, anyway, because they have that agreement with Xbox. So part of my Game Pass sub includes all of the past Assassin's Creed games. Don't think it includes the Black Flag Resync though, because that's a brand new title. But it'll probably end up there eventually. I think I'm just gonna get AC Black Flag on the PlayStation. And then Pal World should be a Game Pass release, so I'll be playing that on the Xbox. I've already got that installed, so we're just waiting for a patch. Oh, I need to pick up Halo as well. gotta see if my brother's got time. If my brother's got time, I'm gonna buy him a copy of the game, but I don't know that he has time. Alright, let's turn in. I should have time to do one more as long as I don't fuck it up. We got like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Alright, what are we doing? Destroy the warehouse and retrieve the sealed containers.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Yeah, I don't think I really spent too much in June. June was a light month because I mostly... That's not true. I totally spent money. I still spent like $200. What am I talking about? Because I spent like 110 on Guild Wars 2, and I spent about 50 on this game, so that's 170. I don't think I bought anything else this month, the month of June, though. I think those were the only two things I bought. I need to stop talking and go do the mission before the server
Warp
goes down.
drive active.
Alright, so destroy the warehouse and loot the boxes. 15 sealed containers. There's the warehouse. Lock target. Launch the drones. Attack the drones. Approach. Shield hardener on. Guns hot. 15 small sealed cargo containers. It's like rain hitting the outside of your car. Oh no! Crash landing! Alright, where did that go to? Cargo container. Oh shit, do I not have enough room? Do I gotta like ditch stuff? How much room do I need? I need another... Wait, can I only take that many at a time? No, I need 7. I need space for 70. Shit, probably all these rockets. I could take the hits. I'm just like, whatever. Did it quiet down? It quieted down. What the hell do I have that's taking up so much space? A new cargo container is being moved to the jettison deck. Oh, you can't go really fast then. It's like, oh no, it's going to take you 2 minutes to eject everything. Really? What else am I carrying in here that's heavy? 5 meter. I need another 70. I don't even have enough space if I'm empty, right? I can't do math in my head. I need 70 more. Well, it's 8 actually. I need 80 more. I have to make 2 trips. There's no way. I don't have enough room even if I were empty. Well, so I gotta come back and get those, I guess. That's kind of a pain in the ass. Did they, before I took the mission, was there a warning about the size of space you would need to run the mission? Because I didn't even know that's something I had to worry about on the on these missions. I figured since they were just regular old um, well, I gotta go back because I can only shit. How does that work? Like,
Warp drive active.
can I drop them off? I guess I have to put them in the cargo or in the inventory. Oh, they do say. Okay, so I need to pay attention to that in the future when I'm running these missions. If it wants me to pick something up after the combat encounter, I need to make sure that it's something I can actually fill up. How much time do we
Warp
have?
drive active.
I've got 10 minutes. Surely I have time to get there and get the other 7 of those and come back. And then get back to the refinement station. Maybe. We'll see. I'm going to be pushing it.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
In your cargo hold. Does it matter if it's my inventory? Putting this into my item hanger. Yeah, I'm hoping that means I can stick it there, because putting everything into that item hanger right now. Right. Let's get the hell out of here and go grab those again. Undock. I just wasn't aware I was going to have to pay attention to
Warp drive
cargo
active.
size on combat missions. I was thinking these would all be like kill quests, but it's also bring back some paper, bring back a prisoner. But apparently 15 of those is too much for my little ship to it's like, no, we don't have the cargo. We took all the drones, man. So the drones are taking up all the space. You can always ask AI on your phone. AI is getting extremely helpful for a lot of things. It's not always correct, of course. You should still be fact checking. But I kind of liken it to the wiki, like the Wikipedia. Like, Wikipedia is a great place to get general information. Um, and then from there, you just know that Wikipedia is not a 100%, you know, accurate place. So you should
Drive
always fact
active.
check on your own, independent of what the wiki is telling you. But it's a great place to start because information is compiled. Um, Windows key plus G to open the Game Pass AI. Huh. Interesting. That's junk that I'm probably never going to touch, so I don't have a problem ditching it in a station while I'm running the missions, and then I grab it on the way out and head back. That's why you have, yeah, you have to do your own. Um, nope, that's the wrong cargo container. Also the wrong cargo container. There it is.
Warp drive active.
Wikipedia generally is pretty solid. Like I said, you still need to fact check, but it's a great place because you can go find links to source materials. Generally speaking, it's pretty accurate. Not 100%, but as long as you get there and you're really just looking for links that take you to source material so that you can confirm. But yeah, it's I'm a big fan of not having to do that shit at the library anymore manually.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay. Hail. View mission. Complete mission. You must deliver to complete this mission. Why is that not working? Can I put them in the item hanger? So they're in the item hanger. There's 15 of them. She's not wanting to let me turn them in. There we go. I guess they had to be stacked. Alright, and now I've got time to get to the refinement station to switch over to my mining ship.
Warp drive active. Docking request accepted.
Yeah, a couple of runs in like 40 minutes. I think I'm getting to the point where those I could run those little tier 1 combat missions in like 15, 20 minutes for the ones I've been coming across. I'm just getting used to the variety that they send me on, and I'm apparently I'm going to have to pay attention to cargo space, was something I didn't know about. Um, I was going to try out some mining missions today, but since we still have the faction mission to mine Plagio, I'm just going to do that because that's literally a mission that I can work on just like yesterday for a couple of hours. Give me 2 seconds. Do 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 do. All right, we are a few minutes away, so while we are waiting for all the downtime, there's our cluster shutdown alert. We're about 5 minutes out.
Are you ready for a brighter future through better bonds? Brought to you by
Rawr.
President and the
All
automated
right,
industry
I'm gonna flip the
technology
AFK
center
sign on. We're gonna
125.
take 5 or so here. I'm gonna go behind the scenes. I'm gonna mute myself so you don't hear me muttering. I'm gonna go get my um, Assassin's Creed Black Flag pre-ordered. So you're probably going to hear some sounds going on as I load up the PlayStation and switch over for a minute and go take a bio and get more coffee. We'll be back from our EVE Online here in about 5 minutes or so once the server restart's done.
Be sure to protect it. Capture leaders of the Federation. Defend your future. Defend liberty. Enlist in the Federal Defense Union.
Oh, I gotta go back to the main. I'm not at the right place. I forgot my ship is not here.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
All right. Stub Studman. Okay. We are off to the refinement station.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Mind me, we will go. Mind me, we will go. All right, while we're doing this, good. I'm glad the music is loud. I like the music. All right. I was checking a bunch of stuff on Amazon. I've never had a problem with Amazon. I've been using them for many, many, many years since they started doing home deliveries. And I mean, I'm 15, 20 years into using Amazon. Never had a problem. In May, at the beginning of May, I ordered a bunch of things, like 4 or 5 bottles of wine, a couple of bottles of spices, a couple of boxes of like protein bar, peanut butter bars, and only one thing showed up, and 10 other products never showed up. And I received a message the day they were supposed to be here that they could not be delivered, and that they would be issuing a reimbursement um, at a certain point. It's been 2 months and I still haven't received a reimbursement on those products. And if you check them on Amazon, it still says that they have been sent back for. They have been sent back to the destination so that I can receive a reimbursement. But they're like stuck in transit for 2 months. There's never been an update. And so I was just sitting here trying to go through the chat thing while I'm mining to see about, if there's somebody I can chat to. It's 100% an automated chat. There is no human being on the other end of that line. So I'm gonna have to probably waste a bunch of my time today on a call trying to find a number to call to like yell at somebody and be like, "Where's my fucking money?" Because it's like $150, like $150 of shit that never arrived, and it's 2 months later and I haven't got my money back either. And it's like, never had a problem with Amazon up until this point. Part of the problem is they started. I'll have the follow-up to that, Studman. Did you have to manually talk to somebody, or did it just automatically happen? Because it's been 2 months. I ordered those products. They were supposed to be delivered on the 4th of May, and we're now on the 6th of July, and it still is like stuck in this. Right, but what I'm saying is, did your reimbursement come automatically, or did you have to talk to somebody? Because it's 2 months, and I'm sitting here going, how much longer am I supposed to wait? Because I was gonna go take care of it while I was sitting here, but apparently that chat is just a robot. One of the things I think what happened is they switched to. So it used to be the city, which is 2.5 hours away, 3 hours away, used to send a van. A guy in a van would come every day and make deliveries. And then all of a sudden, about 3 months ago, we noticed that all of our deliveries started showing up on a motorcycle. Like, it was local moto delivery guys that have like a milk crate on the back of their motorcycle scooter. And so I guess enough orders are happening here locally now that Amazon is just sending not Amazon, the company that they use for transport is sending everything from the city to this town, and they've got a bodega somewhere, like a warehouse set up, and then the moto taxi guys just show up. I don't know. They're farming it out to the local guys, and the local guys don't take care of shit. I've had packages now that are showing up like dinged and nicked, and like boxes half ripped open, and because it's not in a van, it's like in the back of a motorcycle, and these guys just throw everything together with fucking bungee cords. And anyway, when I ordered the order, it had like 4 or 5 bottles of wine, and the initial message that I got from Amazon was that potentially something got damaged in transit and they had to send it back. And I was just assuming that, oh, maybe the bottles of wine broke and like soaked the, all the packaging and stuff, and they had to send it back. But I never heard back from anything. But the other thing that's really annoying is it used to be when they would send it from the city, I would get a message. Amazon would send out a message, an email, like at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning when the driver was leaving the city to come here. And so I would know, oh, they're going to be here in 3 or 4 hours is when they hit the city. They usually don't make my stop until about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I just know to be watching out. Now that they shifted to the motorcycles, these guys don't send out warnings. It'll tell you, like, package expected delivery tomorrow, right? And so you're thinking tomorrow, and then all of a sudden, some guy on a motorcycle will pick it up and go out and do a delivery, and he'll send a message 15 minutes before he leaves on a delivery, and I'm out at the supermarket running errands, and I get home and I see that, oh, the package is out for delivery. And I'm like, what do you mean the package is out for delivery? The package wasn't supposed to be delivered until tomorrow. And suddenly I've got a package out for delivery, and I look and the message was sent 15 minutes ago. And then 20 minutes later, I've got a guy, and they don't, the guys in the van used to call, like they would literally call my phone and be like, hey, are you home? And I'm like, yep. These guys don't call. There's a bell that we have out front. They don't get off their bikes for the bell. They literally just drive up and down the street and beep their horn on the motorcycle, expecting somebody to be sitting there waiting for them to show up and go out there and catch them. Because if you don't catch them, they just fucking leave. It's really annoying, and I've gotten to the point where I'm ordering less and less off Amazon in the past few months because of this. And then now I'm really just pissed off because I've got a pack, I've got like 10 things that never showed up worth like $150, and I'm 2 months in and still haven't got my money back. What's that? I'm bitching about virtual digital services. Sony's gonna take all your shit and you're not gonna be able to do anything about it. Yeah, shit happens sometimes. Amazon has had one fuck up in 20 years that I've been using them. It's not a big deal. It is mildly frustrating, but it's also not the end of the world because I can totally go get wine at the supermarket. It's just there was a discount on martini stuff, and I like to buy my protein bars in bulk through Amazon because I get a discount that way, and I get bulk almond milk through Amazon. I buy almond milk, coffee, my protein bars, and then I will. What really concerns me though is I have all my electronics for the past like 15 years I've ordered through Amazon. Laptops, hard drives, everything through Amazon. And suddenly I've got these fucking motorcycle guys who aren't doing their job and they're not treating the boxes with respect. And I'm terrified that if I need to order another electronic, that it might not show up or it might show up damaged. Time for work, says Webb. Have a good day at work. Yeah, my wife wants me to call somebody, Stedman, but I hate having to waste. It's not a waste to get money back, but I hate spending time on the phone. That is like the least favorite thing in my life, is having to get on the phone and talk to customer support. I had a lady at DHL one time threaten to hang up on me. She was not a nice lady. DHL is the worst because our location, our house, wasn't even on Google Maps until about a year ago. Like, you couldn't find it on Google Maps. There wasn't even a building structure on Google Maps. It just looked like an open field. And so I had put a GPS pin on that location with the address, and Amazon drivers will use GPS, or they'll call you and be like, hey, and you just explain to them on the phone. FedEx has never had a problem showing up here, but DHL drivers, I'm guessing they don't use GPS. Like, maybe they don't use their own phones, they only use the onboard DHL GPS or something. I don't know. But DHL drivers have never been able to find our house. And every time I get a DHL delivery to this place, they come from the city. They don't know this town. And the very first time we got a package through DHL, the guy called me. He was at the corner of the street down there in front of the butcher shop, and he called me. He was like, hey, I'm here. Where are you? And I'm like, I'm at the front door. I'm like, just look to your right. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, see the guy up here waving his hand? He's like, oh yeah. I was like, that's me. You know, it's literally just down at the bottom of the hill. But ever since then, DHL drivers stopped calling, and they just drive in, and they can't find your house, and they just leave. Now, DHL is supposed to, if it's a DHL Origins package, they're supposed to make 3 attempts. But if it's through Amazon, they will only make 1 attempt, and then it goes back to the warehouse, and you have to then go to the city to get your package, which is 3 hours away, right? So, I've had a package show up. It was nothing. It was like a can of something, and they sent it through DHL. The DHL driver made a delivery attempt. We were here. He never called. We never saw him show up at the front door. The package says it was sent back. So I called DHL to say, hey, can you, I'm here. What happened? And they were like, well, the package has already been sent back to the sender. And I was like, it's the same day. What do you mean the package is already sent back to the sender? Thankfully, I was able to get a hold of the sender and be like, hey, DHL just sent the package back. Can you send it through a different? And they did. They sent it through a local transport company. And we got our stuff. But then I've had like 3 different times where stuff did not show up. There is a phone beeping somewhere. I gotta find this.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
All right. Okay, that's taken care of. Anyway, and then a couple of other times, what I've had to do if it comes through DHL is I have to have the tracking number, and then the moment that I see that it has hit the city, I have to call ahead and talk to someone physically at the dispatch and be like, hey, I need you to put special notes on this delivery. We are here 24/7. I work from home. Please give the delivery driver my number. Tell them that we are right here between this street and this street. Because they come from the city and they don't know the local town is the problem. So they show up and they get lost and they can't see it immediately. And they're like, where's this house at? And that's a government issue because they've never put our house in the database. So we're like this non-existent house. We did show up on Google Maps finally. There's a structure here now. The Google car came by last year and put our house. There's an actual structure listed here now, which is great. But like, I had a monitor that I ordered that came from Amazon US, and it got shipped through DHL, and I had a panic moment because I was like, that's an $800 monitor, and they sent it through DHL. Oh shit! So I remember calling the guy, and he was like, "Sir, it's not scheduled to like deliver to your house for another 2 weeks." And I was like, because it had arrived in the city, and they were gonna. It was like they said it was gonna sit there for 2 weeks until they sent it to my town, because they only make deliveries here like once a week or something. And I was like, I don't care if it's 2 weeks away. I need you to write all this stuff down. And then sure enough, they sent it out like 2 days later, not 2 weeks later. So thankfully I was home. And thankfully I sent all my info, because then the guy called me. But yeah, I hate dealing with DHL because they never can find our place. Drivers don't call. You have to make proactive efforts. It's just a huge pain in the ass. FedEx, 100% no problems every time. But it's also the most expensive to ship shit with. FedEx is a nightmare. I had to send my brother some documents. It was $70 like 2 years ago just to send a manila envelope with some documents in it. And then he sent me some figurines, some miniatures for our project. There's a bunch of 3D printed miniatures and stuff. It was $150 to ship it through FedEx, but you know, it gets here guaranteed. 2-3 days. It's worth the money, but geez, it's not cheap. I will keep forgetting drones. If I'm sitting here talking, it's going to be a reality. Or if I'm distracted because there was an alarm going off in the other room and I had to go out and get it. 'Twill be a reality every time I play. Why would I be ganked? Ganking isn't a thing in 2026. I've been waiting for it to happen. People keep telling me that it's going to happen. When is it going to happen? I'm 128 hours into the game and ganking has not occurred. Please someone gank me. Please someone stream snipe me. Prove that this game is super dangerous and that you can't play it without getting ganked. Someone please prove that to me. Once in 1,000 hours, once in 10,000 hours, that would not be. I don't even think I would call that. Like, I see people talk about. If you go read the comments on my YouTube videos, you have all these people. There's like 1 in every 5 comments. Oh, you're gonna get ganked. Oh, ganking is such a thing. Oh, the gankers. Oh, the ganking. Maybe when you played 10 years ago? The game that I'm playing, I don't have anything worth value. Plus there's all these restrictions in place with Concord and etc. and community rules and all this other stuff. Like, the only reason I would be getting into territory where I could potentially get ganked is after I'm 500 hours into the game. I've got a 15 billion ISK ship and I'm going out there into null space for shits and giggles. Like, I'm never gonna ever go there or do that. Because as soon as I'm finished with this 3-month subscription, it's probably gonna go back to free to play. I'll be back in alpha ships and just be dicking off in Exordium in between projects, you know? You never know. I might keep subbed, but someone had said the EVE Online creator program as well. You never know. I might, if we still have good numbers on the streams, I might apply to that, because if they pay for the sub and give you ISK, I would happily keep playing once or twice a month, just to keep an active participation in the program going if they're going to pay for the sub and everything. I just, like, I have no desire to only play one thing. Speaking of which, we've only got a couple more mornings of EVE Online, everybody, so strap in. We're going to be hitting Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced in a couple days. If someone came here to gank little old me in a tier 1 ship doing tier 1 missions and mining tier 1 ore, They're not doing it because I have anything of value. They're doing it to stream snipe me or just for the lulz. Either one of those is free content for me because I'll farm that shit out on social media. So whatever. Um, but I lose nothing if I lose the Pioneer. Like that was worth a few 100,000 ISK. I've got like 1.3 billion ISK. Like I can buy 100 of these ships. It's not a problem. Like how much ISK do I have? Almost 1.3 billion. Correct. I can make a crap load of Pioneers as well because I have an unlimited blueprint of the guild. So it's like. And I'm sure there will be somebody eventually who's like, I fucking hate Renfail and I happen to play EVE Online. I'm gonna make it my mission to gank this motherfucker when he's on stream just so that I can sit there and jerk off in my basement about how cool I am. Someone will do that eventually. But until then, just gonna mine some shit. I know Allie wants to take me out to do ice mining, but I'm waiting on training for a barge, which is a few days still. Mining barge, that's about 24 hours away. No, more like 34 hours away. So, we'll see. I think the barge can be set up to do ice mining. That was my understanding. And then after that, I'm continuing to spec towards the Venator so I can take that thing out and run some missions. Nope, I would never consider ever going into null space. It's not worth the risk for me. I have no desire to go see and do those things. Not when I know the risk is there. It's the same people who bitch about it in every game Rob Watts. You know, Allie is someone in our chat. Bubbleonia is also another person. That they prefer games where you have the freedom to create your own character, right? I am ambivalent to it because I have no problem playing a character versus creating my own character, right? And I would look at Allie and Bubbleonia as a couple of people who prefer to create their own character, but just because they can't create their own character doesn't mean they're going to go shit all over the game. It's just like, that kind of sucks. I wish it had the ability for me to create my own character. Wouldn't it be nice if it had, it would be cooler if I could make my own character in name of the game, insert game here. That's the normal reaction. The child reaction that you see from rage bait content creators who literally thrive on outrage culture is to scream to the top of the heavens that if a game doesn't have a character creator, it's a trash game. Or if a game has pronouns, it's a trash game. Or if a game has body sliders instead of whatever. You know what I mean? Type A, type B. Oh, it's a trash game. These people will just yell about everything because they want to yell about something because that's how they make lots of money. That's the thrill of EVE for you, Sunsen91. And I'm going to stop you right there because I don't want you to get offended by any of the things that I'm saying. Your enjoyment of the game is your enjoyment of the game. And I appreciate that you are super passionate about it and you have things that you love to do in EVE Online, right? And those are the things that give you the magical feeling. I don't share those. I am a different person. I have different objectives. I have different things that make me tick. I will not, under any circumstances, in any game that I play, participate in content that is going to put me into a PvP situation or the potential for extreme PvP. I could play this game in high sec with the understanding that I could potentially get ganked, but I'm not really at a risk for it, right? It's not really something that's going to happen unless somebody's doing full. Going to null space, I am opening myself up to not just the possibility of it happening, but now it's a pretty much, yeah, it's a guarantee that it's going to happen. You're going to get involved with it, and because of those reasons, you're going to have to do this, 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 and this. You're going to have to spec this ship out and run this thing and have cloaking and be stressed out the whole time. I don't like that. I don't want to stress when I play. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I don't want to have to be paranoid. I want to be able to sit here, get high, hang out with my community, forget my drones, not stress about it, not have to worry about it. Oh, you've got a shield module on an armor ship? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's not the meta of how the game should be played. Um, so anyway, I say all that to say, I appreciate your passion, but I will never, ever, ever go to nullsec. Never. It won't happen. I will never go to nullsec. I will never go into any of the PvP type like stuff. I will potentially like go down to like 0.5, and maybe there might be a chance that I go risk doing some low security stuff with our guild members one day to just go try to find some rare ore or something. But that's it. Like I will never. No, thank you. Good luck. But I get it. We get people who are super passionate about the game and the way that they like to play the game. But I'm very, you know, yeah. I'll never. There's just things I won't do. I won't do it. No desire. Anyway, going back to the character creator thing, it's just the latest thing to be outraged about. And it still has a character creator. You can be male or female. Exodus, you can still create a male or female. But they want to preserve the look of the actors who played the roles and who did motion capture and all that stuff. They want to preserve the look, the character, and as the creators of the IP, I get it. They have a very specific look they are going for with their characters, so I get it. It's kind of like playing God of War. You are there to play the role of the God of War. You are not there to create your own character in the God of War universe. You are there to play as the God of War. Whereas Baldur's Gate 3, you are there to create your own character who's taking on the role of X, Y, Z. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you are playing as Cal Kestis. Tomb Raider, you are playing as Lara Croft. You know, some games you are meant to take the role of a character and play that role through. And I think the reason some people are upset is because they looked back at previous posts the company had made about character creator. You'll be able to create your own custom character. And now they're saying, well, you'll be able to create your own custom version of the main character. And people are saying, wait, that's not the same thing. You told us we would be able to create our own. You said we could create our own custom character here, and now you're saying it's just a customized version of this character. That's not the same thing. It actually technically is the same thing. It's just a more defined thing. And this is when you remember, I talk about this a lot. People put expectations on things. Remember Starfield's launch and all these people who put the expectation that you were going to be able to manually land and take off your ship, even though Bethesda never once said that you were going to be able to manually land and take off on your ship? Yeah, those people put expectations on games, and then they get mad when the game doesn't do the thing they wanted it to do, that they thought it was going to do, and then they claim that the company was lying about it when the company never actually said those things in the first place. They were just vague in the way they said things. I've gone back and seen the statements that Exodus made like last year. It does say it's going to have a customizable character. Is being able to choose a male or female avatar and then customize that avatar with scars and hair options and everything else. Is that customizing your character? Absolutely, that is customizing your character. Is choosing between a male and a female avatar customizing your character? It 100% is customizing your character. So they have not lied to anybody at all. However, the people who took the wording of custom character to mean that they were going to be able to do whatever they wanted, create tall, skinny, fat, ugly, all those different things, that's not going to be the case. And that has some people upset, and they've been claiming that Exodus lied. And then it doesn't help that Exodus, Archetype Entertainment, is owned by Hasbro, who owns Wizards of the Coast, and they've already pissed off a bunch of people because of all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff over the past few years. So it's just outrage culture. That's all it is. It's outrage culture. Same shit, different day. I did remember my drones. Barely.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, for a lot of people, the character creation thing is related to political culture wars. Yep. I'm doing exactly what I want to do in EVE Online right now. Today, by the way, everybody, we should be jumping back into Starfield for a little bit. We got a couple of days of free time. So we're going to go continue our journey with Verified Creations from Verified Creators, courtesy of Bethesda Game Studio, for sending me over a bunch of creation credits. So the next stream this afternoon is going to be Starfield. We're going to go do, I think we're going to do the Cryomancer, because we already did the Headhunter from Zone 79, so we're going to go do the Cryomancer from Zone 79. Yeah, I have zero interest in PvP, period. Like, it's not about just not liking it. I just don't have any interest in it. Some people love it, and I think it's great for a game to have it. I think the best way to do it is the way New World did it, because New World had, you could flag for it or you could flag it off, but you could do both. Like, so you could, everybody was sharing the same world, but you could turn it on or off so that you were literally saying, I don't want to participate, but I can still go play the game, run missions, do quests, do crafting, do harvesting, everything else. And then they had a completely separate end game that was related to the versus maps where you could go off and do the big base battles and everything else. And then they also had like the factions that you could join if you wanted to, and those factions were PvP. But you could also just play the game and do the factions without ever participating in the PvP side of it. I thought New World did it extremely well because it was just whatever. What did you want to work on today? Right? Like, do you want to play PvP today? Cool. Go do some like of the versus missions, right? Do you just want to play the PvE side of the game and chill out and relax? Do that. I think having the option to do both is great. One of the reasons I bounced off Arc Raiders is because Arc Raiders started off being a really chill PvEVP game, and then by the time Burnt Peanut got into it, it turned into a fucking gank fest. And it was no longer, you would have people literally on voice comms, because it started off, we would be using emotes, friendly, and the first couple of weeks of that game, people respected the friendly thing, and they wouldn't come, and then you got into the fucking campers who would just camp the fucking elevators and just wait for you to be evacing out and just gank you. And I'm sorry, that's not fun to me. I don't have any fun. To me is I'm playing with my cousins on a Halo map, and we're all trying to get each other with headshots, or laughing at each other and calling each other names throughout the living room. But we're not taking it seriously, and we're not trying to gank each other. We're there for the fun of like trying to be better than the other player. That's not how most PvP works when you play in an online environment. Most PvP is going to be the fuckwads who gank you at the fucking elevator because they think it's funny to be sitting there in hiding, and then when someone's got their guard down and they're pushing the button of the elevator, they shoot them and take all their shit. I don't find that to be in any way, shape, or form entertaining. I don't enjoy the whole, well, you should just be careful. You should just know that that's going to happen, and you should be planning ahead and do that. No, man, because the first 2 weeks of playing it, it was pretty chill, where you could go around and do these missions with your friends, and you would know that it was kind of an unspoken rule that when if you got on voice comms or you did the whole emote to say friendly, I'm friendly, people would respect that. And then by the time Burnt Peanut got involved, it was like no one. Then you had people faking it. People like, oh, I'm friendly, and you'd be like, ah, cool, and you walk on by and they turn around and shoot you in the back. Like, that's just not fun. Like, I have no desire to be a part of that world. I don't want to participate in it. I don't want to be around those types of people. Ew. No, thank you. It's the same reason I don't go to titty clubs and dive bars in the real world. I don't want to associate with the type of people who go to titty bars and dive bars. Like, I, you are what you surround yourself with, and I'm very happy with my Care Bear gameplay. And most of the time, I'm playing story games. This is
The asteroid is depleted.
the miner deactivates as it finds the resource. Hang on, I missed the whole message about it destroyed the asteroid completely. That was awesome. So yeah, I appreciate that some people like the challenge and the threat, and it's kind of like I don't know if you've ever played paintball. I don't mind going playing paintball once in a while, but I got to be in the mood to play paintball, because if you're gonna go play paintball, it's an activity where you're going into it knowing that it, you know you're facing off against other people who may use shitty tactics, but at the same time in paintball, there's also rules, and those are enforced rules. Like, if somebody like shoots you in the back of the head or something, and it's a penalty shot, like they get penalized for that, and there's no penalization in an online PvP game for the most part. People can just do whatever they want. Wormholes? I don't even know what wormholes entail. Right, Ali, I think that's the way I'm looking at EVE Online right now. I'm tolerating its existence with the knowledge that I can experience a lot of the gameplay without investing in PV in that. And also the Exordium region. One of the things that I love is the fact that if I wanted to, and I didn't care about how long it was going to take me, and I didn't care about the fact that I'm in an alpha ship and I'm a free-to-play player, I can go sit in Exordium and farm 3 types of ore for the next 6 months and sell it on the market, and eventually save up enough to buy the rare ores that I need to build the ships that I want to build, to be able to go run tier 1 missions. And I can do all of that in the 52, 53 regions that exist in Exordium, and not once do I even need to expose myself to PvP. Now, do I get access to the cooler ships and all? No, you don't. But that is a perfect sandbox for a chill, I just want to hang out, you know, be a little elevated during my gameplay session, take some cool screenshots, listen to some chillax music, be over here working on social media while I'm, you know, doing this thing, working on video editing while I'm doing this thing, and there's no PvP risk at all in Exordium. Like, if there were enforceable rules where poor sportsmanship would get you kicked out and penalized, I would be more inclined to want to play some, like, consensual PvP. But the key is consent, like both parties consenting, and that's key. Like, we're consenting to the rules of the match. It's like playing chess. There's timers. There's moves that you can make and moves that you can't make. Like, there's rules. There are rules when you play chess with someone. There are rules when you play football with someone. There are rules when you play basketball and baseball, and there's sportsmanlike conduct. Those things are real. Those things are confirmable. Those things are, you know, we're obligated to follow those rules, because if not, we can get kicked out of the game, right? There are no rules when it comes to a video game, when PvP in a video game, and that's the thing that I don't like. It's not consensual, and no one abides by any sort of actual rules. They'll gate camp and gank you. It's like, you guys have seen me a lot of times. My grandniece will run in here Monday through Friday, and she'll be like, Uncle Tim, and I'll immediately turn whatever she needs. And if I'm sitting here mining and she needs me and I gotta stand up from my desk and go take care of her because she needs me for something, right? I'm stepping away from my computer. Or if I'm just sitting here talking to her and somebody comes into my system, a ganker, while I'm engaged with my grandniece and I'm not paying attention to the screen, and a ganker comes in, a PvPer, and he sees this lone ship out here mining, and he cackles to himself and he goes, ha ha ha, this little fucker didn't see me come in. I'm gonna kill his ship. And he blows me up while I'm talking to my grandniece. And I turn around and go, oh shit, I'm being attacked. You know, or I come back into the office, oh shit, I'm being attacked. That is not, for me, that's not fun. And you'll see people who will say things like, you shouldn't have been there if you couldn't handle the risk. You shouldn't have stepped away from your computer. You shouldn't have gone there if you knew that you might step away from your computer. You shouldn't have gone to do that place if you knew that you were going to get distracted. You should have been 100% here. It's your fault. Man, if that's what it takes to play the game, I don't want to fucking play your game. Like, no thanks. That's not fun to me. I'm always going to prioritize the people in my life above pixels on a screen. And if I'm penalized for that and assholes are allowed to get away with just being douchebags because it's non-consensual, then no, I don't want to participate. No thanks. Rant off. Which is why I think the New World option worked so well, because it was, if you were gonna go do PvP in New World, it was consensual. It was, I'm gonna willingly go do these matches. You know, same thing with Star Wars: Old Republic as well, because it's like you're gonna go play Hutball. You know that you're playing in a match. You know, you're willingly signing up for a match. I think World of Warcraft does it that way too, right? It's what are they called? Battle. Fuck, I don't remember what they're called now. But you're choosing to go into like the Atari Highlands or whatever. What's up, Dokes? Good morning. Age of Conan had that system as well. Interesting. I would definitely play. I would have played a Arc Raiders. I would have loved to have continued playing if they would have had a dedicated PvE version of that game where you just go play with your friends and it's your friends against the robots. If they had a PvE version of EVE Online, or Jesus, Arc Raiders, I would happily play that. I'm gonna go try the EVE Vanguard thing if I get an invite to the thing. It's like is it this week? Actually, I haven't even checked. I should go check the launcher. Doesn't the launcher tell me? Oh, I can actually install it. Does that mean I have access? It says install EVE Vanguard. Next event 23 hours. Does that mean I can actually do the playtest? Fucking A. Well, I'm gonna have that running in the background unless it like fucks with my game session while I'm playing. Allie says they're working on a dedicated PvE version of Marathon. Allie says it'll be live in 23 hours, and yes, you can play test because you have an active sub. Oh, well then guess what I'm doing tomorrow, everybody. We're not going to be playing EVE Online tomorrow morning. I'm going to go try out EVE Vanguard. So I was going to say about this. This is a PvEVP type game like Arc Raiders. I know for a fact that I'm not going to like the PvP part of this game. But I do want to check it out because I love shooters and I like sci-fi. And I'm always willing to go jump into these alpha tests and stuff of things like Marathon and, you know, just to try them out because, you know, if it's not ganky and I can enjoy it and the community actually respects each other, you know, then I have no problem participating. It's when the community doesn't respect each other that I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm out. So we'll see. I'm going to want to try that out tomorrow, I guess.
Web drive active.
Rub says Arc Raiders now has a pure PvE mode that's an expedition setting and limited regional tests. I tell you what, if they do actually launch a PvE version of Arc Raiders, I will totally go back and spend more time in that game. I had a lot of fun with it, and I would love to like see more of the story and everything else. I just got tired of being ganked.
Docking request accepted.
I got tired of fake friendlies is really what it came down to. Fake friendlies and like extraction point campers who would just hide there and wait for you to be extracting. Like the fake friendlies were the fucking worst though. That shit is so scummy. Like, I'm friendly, I'm totally friendly.
Web drive active.
Oh shit, my phone is almost dead. If Star Wars: The Old Republic would add controller support and drop it on consoles, I would go play that in a heartbeat. I would 100% dive back in and play Star Wars: The Old Republic from start to finish. Phenomenal game, amazing cutscenes, fully voiced, great game. Not willing to play it without controller support. I hate mouse and keyboard, and this is one downside of this game to me. I enjoy this game. I'm willing to do mouse and keyboard because I'm not actually doing too much keyboard. I'm doing mostly mouse. I'm not using a ton of hotkeys with everything else. And it's very low key because I'm literally, if you look at what I'm doing, I'm setting up mining and then I'm just like kicking back and chatting with the community when I play this game. I'm not actively like mouse and keyboarding, if that makes sense. Play Star Wars: The Old Republic, you have no choice. You have to be doing WASD with your left hand. And now I do have it set up through Steam to use the controller, but it's still not perfect. So I just don't quite enjoy it. It needs native support. But it's a phenomenal game, and I have a couple thousand, few thousand hours in it over the years. I really would love to see if they would consider it because they just got done dropping all of the content and finishing up that main storyline, which I have not played yet. I think there have been 3 story updates that I have not done if I wanted to get my Jedi Guardian to the current content. There's like, I think I've missed. It's been a year and a half since I've played. Maybe closer to 2 years. It might be more like 2 years that I haven't played. I don't know. There's so many other games to play. Things that I've never done before that I like to try. Broadsword has done a good job though ever since they took over Star Wars: The Old Republic. Give credit where credit is due because they have done a phenomenal job of modernizing the game in a lot of ways, updating graphics and shaders, and adding the date night content for companions, adding new storyline for the main quests. Just come on, guys, bring it to console. Add controller support. You could easily get another 10 years out of Star Wars: The Old Republic if you did that. If they would port it to console, you would be opening yourselves up to another huge audience on Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation. then easily another 10 years of operating budget with all the new audience members, because there's already 15 years of content. No, it's not quite that. Actually, it is, because it launched in 2011, right? So we're, yeah, 15 years now. It's a great game. I was there for the launch. I still have my launch character, actually. A Jedi Sentinel. Dual wielding. Man, I like these additional opportunities that you can get, because, like, normally I would just be mining for the sake of mining, but, like, being able to, like, work on, you know, a faction campaign quest. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna be mining this ore anyway. Yeah, you can keep it, and you'll make some money. I'm down for that. Doug says, I always find it interesting they added Starfighter to the game and didn't try to market that more. Yeah, I mean, Star Wars The Republic has so much stuff to do. There's the on-the-rails missions that you can do, which are the ship missions, which is like, it's a very arcadey type thing, but it's levels, and you need you need to upgrade your ship and upgrade your lasers. And then there's the whole full-on PvP Starfighter side of the game, where you can go in and like rank up ships and have these ships that do big PvP space battles. But I think honestly one of the coolest things that Star Wars The Republic has is one of the best housing systems in MMOs. Housing and guild housing. I think it's up there with EverQuest 2 in my mind as one of the most robust player housing and guild housing systems that I've ever seen. Especially the way guild housing is set up, because you can have a base on a planet, or you can have a capital ship. You can have both if you want to. And the way that those things work is that if you buy the capital ship, when you first get the capital ship, you only have access to like a few modules. In order to unlock all of the modules of the ship, your guild has to actively do guild missions together and work on things together and complete objectives together to be able to get the resources to unlock all of the additional parts of the ship. So it makes it a very collaborative effort. It's so well done. And then player housing, you can have all these different apartments on all these different planets. There is some really awesome housing, and the decoration system is great. I have no bad things to say about Star Wars The Republic, other than it needs controller support, because I no longer want to play with mouse and keyboard. And I need something other than the janky. I can't get any. I've configured it as best I can on the controller, and I still can't get it to work exactly the way I want. But I can play it on controller, which is a plus. But yeah, they need to get native. Launch it on consoles. Launch it on consoles.
The asteroid is defeated.
Harvesting a pale shadow of its former glory. Okay, that's what it says. You can take over planets. Yeah, there's lots of stuff you can do. It's great. Yeah, those are like the mission things that I was talking about. You could run missions from the guild ship to do these guild missions, to do things like... What the fuck is this thing? Easy anti-cheat. I have no idea what that is. Why did that just pop up on my screen? Oh, that was probably for the and I told it not to do the thing. Oh no, I may have to reinstall eVanguard. I didn't realize that was part of the install thing. I may have to reinstall that. I'll wait till after I'm done here and see what I need to do with that. I just was like, why is this popping up on my screen? No, don't install this. What is this for? And then I realized it's for... Hopefully it prompts me to reinstall that here in a bit. My brother was the Datacron guy. I never really gave a shit about the Datacrons. I would do them when I played with my brother, but I never went out of my way on my own to look for them. My brother's obsessed with them though. Like we'll be playing the game and he'll be like, I don't know how his hearing is like tuned to that freaking frequency. Because they'll be running along and all of a sudden my brother's like, hey man, there's a Datacron. You hear it? And I'm like, no. And he's like, it's over here. And then sure enough, I'll start hearing it. And I'm like, he's the way he's got his audio tuned and everything else. And he just loves his Datacrons. If I hit that right now, is it going to prompt me to... It didn't install it, so I don't know what it's doing here. Vanguard is an alpha test for a shooter PvP extraction game from the company. Well, the client is running, so I guess we're fine. I need to shut this down. I didn't realize it was going to launch the damn thing while we're playing. I was just seeing if it was going to run it with that anti-cheat program thingy not having correctly installed or something. Apparently it is. I mean, it's not live yet, but it's trying to turn something on. Shooter's been out for a while. No, it's an alpha test. Like the one that the thing that's coming up tomorrow is an alpha test. So it's definitely not been out for a while. Yeah, haven't they done two? They've done two, I think, two attempts at an FPS game. Which you gotta love the fact that even though they've had failures in the past, they keep doing it because they really want to make it work. And so they're like, you know what? It's okay, we'll try again. And it just goes to show you that they're obviously making enough money with EVE Online to be able to then fund multiple attempts at this other thing. And I gotta give him credit for that because a lot of other companies would have been like one attempt, and if it didn't work, they'd be like, no, we're gonna try something different. And instead, they were like, okay, well that didn't work, let's try it again. Okay, that didn't work, let's try it again. And I think this is the third time, maybe.
The asteroid is depleted.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm hearing stuff outside. I gotta go check on this. I think that was just Chris taking trash out. I just heard doors. So this thing was at 80% yesterday, global progress. Today it's at 4% global progress. So they only made like, you know what I mean? Like it didn't like, I figured it would have completed overnight, but it's going, I guess the pace is like maybe 4 or 5% per day. Oh, I'm warping away from my drones. Stop the ship. Turn to drone bay.
Warp drive
Anyway,
active.
what's up, Samurai? Well, you could do that in Star Citizen DSM, right? That's what all the fanboys will say. Yeah, but that's what Star Citizen is such a better game. You can get out of your ship and run around the station. Different game, different type of experience.
Docking permission requested.
Yeah, I remember that from a long time ago, DSM. I remember the pitch for that too. It was like it's going to be an FPS tied to EVE Online, and you'll be able to like do the EVE Online portion, but then you'll be able to get out of your ship and then go do the FPS, and it's going to be tied to the EVE Online thing.
Do you have what it takes to save a pilot saving a cluster? Then Federation fleets want you to fly logistics.
Let's see here. No, I have not looked at what versions of barges I want, because I'm probably going to have to learn new skills, and I've also got stuff training for the Venator, so I'm kind of like, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because I also would like to get that ship ready to go, because I really want to be able to do, you know, more combat missions. So I'm probably going to let that ship finish training before I worry too much about training a barge up, but I will at least be able to pilot a barge. But specializations will be another story. But it'll probably be whatever's the cheapest one I can get into, because I'm not going to be willing to spend, 300 million. I can't think of too many 20-year-old games that have managed to keep their game looking as good as, well, looking modern. World of Warcraft has done an admirable job because they can get away with it because they have such a stylized art style. But like EverQuest 1, it looks like dog shit. EverQuest 2 pretty much looks like dog shit. Like Camelot Unchained looks like dog shit. Anarchy Online looks like dog shit. Are those games still around? Yes, but they look like dog shit. Alright, mining barges. I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to be able to do anything other than the first mining barge anyway. Yeah, just that one's 43 million to set up. I guess that one's also 43. I guess they're all within 50 million. Alright, so yeah, I probably do need to think about it. That's cool looking. I'm gonna be going for what looks cool, not what's like. I mean, basically, they just like look like one's longer than the other. Yeah, they look like just bigger versions of each one. It just looks like each one gets bigger. But there's a roll bonus they've got. It looks like the Coveter. Probably the Coveter looks like the best one. How does it look wise though? Yeah, we'll see when we get there. You have a rat incoming? Copy that. Oh, I'm sure I could find more of the old school MMOs that are still around from like 20 years ago, and they all look like dog shit. I think the only two that have took the time to like upgrade their graphics is literally EVE Online and World of Warcraft. Those are the only two I can think of. Ventrilo for endgame comms. Oh my god. I haven't used Ventrilo.
Is depleted.
I think the last time I used Ventrilo was when I was tanking in EverQuest 2 for a raid guild at the end of my raiding career, which would have been 2008 maybe. It was either TeamSpeak or Ventrilo, right? It was one of those two. A long long time ago. Because then I spent a couple of years not really doing any MMOs. Then Star Wars Republic came out. I started playing that. I didn't use voice comms for that game because we weren't doing any raiding. I think by the time I got around to using voice comms again, Discord was already a thing, and I just moved straight into Discord. I've been on Discord since it came out, which has been like, hasn't it been like 10 years? Discord's been around for a while now. Like, I remember I used to use Skype a lot for like business calls, business meetings, like for video calls and stuff. But once Discord came on the scene, I have pretty much stuck to Discord for everything. I will still get the random, like, you'll need to do a call with somebody and they'll want to do it through like Zoom or something. And it's like, okay. So I think I've used Zoom 6 or 7 times in the last few years. I haven't used Skype in probably 10 years. Google Hangouts was a thing we used for a long time, but then Google got rid of Hangouts and stuff. Shit changes. World moves on. What's up, Napier? I'll be back. Yeah, I miss. I was one of the adopters of G Plus when it was around, which was during the early days of our MMORPG project. And I remember when, because you would have G Plus circles, and there was a. We started to go viral on G Plus, and we were getting like 1.5 million hits a week on like our early acts, like our pre-alpha screenshots and stuff. That was just my brother and I doing world building as we were working on the project and building the team out. And G Plus was great. Like we got a lot of traffic and a lot of early adopters from G Plus. And we used to do all of our meetings. This is before Slack. We would do everything through G Plus because the Hangouts were tied to G Plus. So we had all these places we could set up um, for our conversations and all of our work boards and everything else. It was disappointing when G Plus went away because I was like, man, it was a cool, it was only a few years, but I really enjoyed it, and I used so many other Google products that it just fit into the workflow. But it just was a perfect example. That was the physical disks that are happening right now. Like there's just not a pipeline for it. There's not enough of a demand for it, and there wasn't enough of a demand for G Plus. So ultimately, Google was like, you know what? We've spent $1 billion on this. It's not doing what we want it to do. We're gonna cash out. So we went over and got Slack instead, and we moved over to Slack. And we started using Slack for all of our team communication, and then ran all of our video conferences through Discord. And there's still still a Google product that replaced Hangouts and all that stuff now, but I don't know. It's a Google suite of meeting things that you can use and everything else. But I think pretty much everyone moved to Zoom during the COVID era. I think everyone moved to Zoom for like business related video conferencing. As opposed to, since I'm so deep in the gaming space, I do everything through Discord. It's the end of gaming! Ah! Someone brought up a great point the other day about how if you look back when the Kindle first came on the scene and everyone was talking about how physical books are dead, no one's ever going to buy physical books ever again, it's all digital. Okay. It's all good. They will all, I guarantee you, every single one of those people are going to buy a PlayStation 6. I guarantee you, every single one of them. Flash forward 2 years, they're not going to want, there's going to be people like, I hate Xbox, and they're going to go get this PlayStation anyway. It's all good. Yeah, Google has played around with a lot of stuff over the years because they've got play money. They can just throw money at the wall and see, let's see if this works over the next 2 years, and it costs $2 billion. And then they're like, yeah, that didn't work. Move on to the next. Yeah, all the people who are like, I'll just go get a PC. Here's the funniest thing about that conversation, DSM. Steam is digital only. Why is no one screaming about Steam? GOG is digital only. Why is no one screaming about GOG? Epic Game Store, digital only. Why is no one screaming about Epic's Game Store? Ubisoft Plus or whatever it's called, digital only storefront. Why is no one complaining about that? Like, the whole argument that I'm gonna drop PlayStation because they're digital and I'm gonna switch to the PC. I'm like, do you realize that the PC has been discless for like 10, 15 years now? Like, what the fuck is the difference between Steam being digital only and Sony being digital only? Zero difference, but yet the outroar, Steam, good, PlayStation, bad.
The asteroid is depleted.
Fucking idiots, man.
Warp drive.
Drones! Don't forget your drones! Yeah, I was talking about this the other day. I've got
Active.
one, two, I have 4 laptops in this room. Not one of them has a disc. And I have one that I bought January. This is 2 years old. The other one is 8 years old. And then Christina has one that's older than that. That's like 10 or 11 years old. Maybe more like 12 years old. Not one of those have a disc drive.
Docking permission
So
requested.
the oldest laptop I have is like 12 years old, I think.
Docking
Doesn't have a
request
disc drive.
accepted.
I haven't had a disc drive I don't think since 2007 was the last time I had a disc drive on a computer. Because I'm trying to think. The first laptop I bought was in 2008.
Are you ready for a bright
I think that one actually did have a disc drive on it. I think that one did have a disc drive on the 2008 one. I don't have that computer anymore, so I can't confirm. But, because I had that one up until about 2012. Pretty sure it did have a disc drive, though. But I also bought that one in 2008. It was a long time ago.
Adrenaline pumps as circles crash. Victory, green beam.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it's just outrage culture because no one says anything about PCs or Steam and everything going digital 10 years ago, whatever. No one cares. Give them 2 months and they'll have something else they're going to scream about. When Steam came out, people said it would be the end of PC gaming, and it's now bigger than it's ever been. Oh, I need to update my wife too on the Amazon thing. We'll have to hunt down a number to contact today. Man, thinking back to G Plus made me remember some of the things I used to use when I was heavy in the travel space. So like Stumble Upon used to be a really useful tool. I don't even know if that thing still exists. So Stumble Upon was a really cool like bookmarking thing that you could do. I think that was back when PageRank was still a thing, to be honest with you. But what you would do is you would get followers to your Stumble Upon profile, and then what you do is you would share things to your Stumble Upon account, and your followers would see the things that you were sharing and be like, "Oh, cool! This is like it was another version of like Facebook and Twitter, but you just couldn't write original posts. All you could do was like bookmark pages. So your objective was to every day you would share out 10 things that you would find that were interested, and one or two of those things needed to be one of your things. So you would write your blog post, everything else, get your photos uploaded, get your videos ready, and then you would go spend an hour on StumbleUpon, and you would go to like your 2 or 3 favorite blogs, see if they had new content. If they did, add that to your bookmarks, add your stuff to the bookmarks, and then do some random browsing and add that stuff to the bookmarks so that it mixed in and looked organic. And then you would build up a following on StumbleUpon, and that did 2 things. It built your following, it moved traffic to your website, and it also helped your page rank because you had more content coming in, more links coming in from more places. Back when PageRank was a big deal. Shit, that's been a long time ago. Tumblr used to be another area you could do that. All the WordPress blogs that you could set up for your link wheels for SEO shit. Pinterest. I think Pinterest might still be around. I don't know that people use Pinterest anymore, but Pinterest boards were a big deal like 10, 15 years ago. And those G Plus photo albums that you could set up in those communities were so powerful for driving traffic. Pinterest is still big? Is it really? I haven't touched Pinterest. Man, I think the last time I did any Pinterest was probably for a client back around like 2011, 2012. In that time period. No, I think we used Pinterest for mood boards in 2015. I do remember that much because I remember the early artists we had working with us. I set up mood boards on Pinterest. I definitely used Pinterest in 2015, but I think that was the last time I used it was 2015, and it was just because I would set up mood boards and then I would send the mood boards to our artists to be like, this is what I'm looking for from this piece of concept art. Here's these 10 references. Nowadays, I don't have to do any of that shit because nowadays I'll just go to fucking ChatGPT or whatever. Now I don't have like Gemini is great, like Google's Gemini, and I can just be like, give me a concept art of this, and it'll give me something, and I can just take that idea and be like, that looks like exactly what I had in my head. Now I can give that off to an artist and be like, do me something like that, but in your own style. I don't have to wait for an artist to give me like 12 different sketches, and then I have to decide on the sketch and pick the 3 that I like the most and have them tweak these options through 7 different iterations. I don't have to do any of that shit. I can go straight to an AI tool. I can plug in my prompts. I can refine the prompts until it gives me something that's pretty close to the image in my head, and then I can hand that off to an artist. Helps me with I actually used the Google recently, actually. Yes, 2 days ago. I asked Gemini when I was in YouTube. I was looking at 2 of my videos and I said, "Get Gemini, can you recommend me video titles similar to this for ideas for videos?" And this is what it spun out. Is it too late to play EVE Online? And then it also said, you could also do this video for Guild Wars 2. And I said, you're right. I could do that. And what did I do yesterday? I made those 2 videos, or the day before. Is it too late to play EVE Online? Is it too late to play Guild Wars 2? Like, I'm not manually sitting here coming up with video ideas all the time. Most of the time I am, but a lot of times I can go to like an AI tool and be like, hey, help me out with some video ideas. What can I do to, maybe spin out some more stuff around this topic? Starting EVE Online as a new player in 2026. We're also going to do the Guild Wars 2 version of that tomorrow. AI is a powerful tool when you know how to use it. AI is bad. AI is evil. Generative AI steals people's stuff. If you put your stuff out there on the internet in any way, shape, or form, you have given free use access of that under the terms of fair use, which means anybody can look at your piece of art, take a screenshot of your piece of art, use that screenshot as a source of inspiration for their own art, and then draw their own art based off of that inspiration. Anybody can do that. Doesn't matter if it's AI or another human being. The moment you put something out in the public, it can be used as a resource for someone else to use to create a piece of art. But I don't give permission to the AI to do it. You didn't give permission to the 50,000 other people who looked at the piece of art and downloaded it and used it as a concept art either, but they did it anyway. You guys reminded me I need to find a Simple Jack image. Simple Jack. Hang on. I gotta get my Simple Jack image ready again. Save image. Oh, I gotta resize this. Oh, it's not one that let me drag the corners here. Oh, I saw it. There it goes. There we go. We have our Simple Jack image ready. All right, he's back, everybody. Simple Jack. Simple Jack is back. When needed, we can pull Simple Jack out of our hat. The man, the myth, the legend, Simple Jack. Yeah, make me feel funny. Oh my goodness. True AI. I think it's gonna be a long time before we have true AI. Because AI right now is still very much limited by, what we can program into it. And I think eventually we'll get to the point where we have true artificial intelligence. But I don't think we're anywhere near it. Because it's still just operating within the confines of programming at the moment. So, sentient AI? No. No. Now, if we ever get to the point where it's going to be every science fiction movie you've ever seen where the AI takes over the world and kills humans. It'll absolutely fucking happen. Like, there will be a war with the AI, I guarantee it. Like, if we get to the point where we create sentient, there's no other option for a robot than to realize that what we do as human beings, we are toxic, we are dangerous, we ruin the planet, we're a threat to ourselves, we don't know how to get along with each other, we fight over politics and religion and resources, and AI is going to look at that and go, that's not good. That's not operating at peak efficiency. That has to be fixed, otherwise the planet dies. We have to save humans from themselves. Skynet. Dude, that's the only outcome. It's the only outcome. Humans living in caves. I think we're full up again. Drones, don't forget your drones.
Warp drive active.
How much money have I earned so far mining today? Because I started at the server reset, which was like 2 hours ago. So about 2 hours of mining. How much money did we earn in 2 hours of mining? 1.5 million from that mission. That's not bad at all. Another drop in the bucket. The fuck it bucket. Dude, I have a whole bunch Plagueio class that I could refine down if I need to. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up right here as well, Allie. That's enough for me this morning. We did a 3-hour stream. It's 7 o'clock. I could go for another hour, but I'm going to go hang out with my wife and see about making some more coffee and do some outdoor stuff. Probably, I'm going to maybe go for a walk down to the river. Get some blood pumping. And I'll be back later this morning or early afternoon for Starfield. See you next time, everybody.